All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 248 until I'm a YouTube millionaire. Today, we are going to do a reaction video to The Human Future, A Case for Optimism by Melody Sheep. I'm going to put it in full screen mode for y'all. Let's go ahead and get to this. As you know, Melody Sheep is my favorite YouTube channel. It's the best YouTube channel that exists on YouTube. Is it possible to believe that all human mind has ever accomplished but the dream before is but a dream before the awakening? H.G. Wells. What is the future of the human race? Remember, we're only 6,000 years old as a civilization. There's infinite time ahead of us. Mars. I've seen this one before, by the way. I've seen all of Melody Sheep's videos.
Humanity is at a tipping point. We stand at a crossroads of accelerating change unlike anything ever seen in the history of life. It feels as if the future could tip either way. Between utopia and apocalypse.
You see, since we've only been around for 6,000 years as a civilization, not as a species 200,000 years, we don't know what our future holds so deeply. We know so little about it. Okay? Those gray aliens that are in pop culture are our descendants. They always tell us that whenever we question them. They are our descendants. It doesn't take very long for us to change into a form like that, especially if you're on another planet orbiting another star in another solar system. So, yeah, they probably are from Zeta Reticuli. But they're probably from our future about 10,000 years ahead of us.
The risks we face are daunting. But beneath the rampant pessimism for our future is evidence that humanity.
I've seen those. Those are real, by the way. They're in the deserts of around Los Angeles. It's pretty cool.
No one knows what comes next. But there are three broad paths our future could take. The first is collapse. A major catastrophe threatens the downfall of civilization and possibly even extinction of the human race. Second,
to that point, no matter how humongous the collapse is, so long as even a handful of us survive, that is 100 or more, well, actually 18 or more, we'll survive. It doesn't matter how drastic it is, so long as at least 18 of us survive. That is the minimum viable population to have enough genetic diversity to repopulate the Earth.
Is plateau, where mankind averts collapse but hits an upper limit of progress. And third is transcendence, where humanity reaches its full potential, multiplies into the trillions, or transforms
quadrillions,
into something entirely
quintillions, sextillions, septillions.
Envisioning these futures will clarify the risks.
Look how far we've gotten with our technology and innovation in 6,000 years. Imagine 600,000 years. Or 6 billion.
And for ourselves.
Things that aren't even a fathom of a concept in our imagination will be possible in not even 10,000 years.
Mankind is no stranger to catastrophe. Our ancestors have survived asteroid impacts, ice ages, supervolcano eruptions, and deadly plagues, each time bouncing back to new heights. But our biggest threats
See right there, the bubonic plague 600 years ago? That killed a quarter of the global human population. It was bad. It was a human mass extinction event.
longer come from the natural world.
Culling.
They come from ourselves. Since the dawn of nuclear weapons, the threats of self-destruction have come to dwarf all others. By some estimates, the risk of causing our own extinction is over 300 times higher than extinction by natural causes.
I think that's accurate.
The Future of Life Institute identifies 4 main risks to our survival: nuclear war, climate change, biotechnology, and AI.
Biotechnology, nanoparticles, nanobots, obviously AI. Elon Musk talks about that.
We have to envision their worst possible outcomes. The soot from a large-scale nuclear war could cool global temperatures by nearly 10 degrees and wipe out up to 63% of the population.
Could be a lot worse than that.
We have made strides in reducing nuclear stockpiles, but there are nearly 10,000 warheads still in existence. Currently, we are on track to heat the Earth by around 2.7 degrees by 2100, which could displace over 1 billion people.
Now, one thing about this channel that does bother me is that they're still so gung-ho about global warming and stuff like that. One, it's not necessarily a bad thing if the planet heats up a little bit, as the average surface temperature of the Earth is 59 Fahrenheit, which is really cool. Two, we have not seen any results of increased water levels, like Al Gore said back in 2000 that half of Florida was gonna be gone. And three, we're probably not even correct with the amount of effect that we have on the environment. We do have one, don't get me wrong. CO2 emissions produced by human beings do have an effect, but it's like a few percentage points of the overall carbon dioxide outgassing of volcanoes and just in the soil. We have a very small effect on that. We do have one, but it's not a very big one.
But in the worst case, we could trigger CO2 tipping points and cause up to 12 degrees of warming in the coming centuries.
Remember, back during the Jurassic era, the average surface temperature of the Earth was in the 70s. It was much warmer back then.
Major crises like food scarcity.
Humans can handle it. The Earth can handle it.
Small groups of people the power to cause global disaster. In theory, the release of a designer pathogen could have an even higher death toll than a global nuclear war. But the hardest risk to gauge stems from AI. It's the first threat we face that we may not be able to outsmart.
It will be a product of our own inner psyches.
Powerful ally.
Any great power can be used for great evil or great good.
For the world's
Depends on the people using
resources
it.
Push humanity into obscurity. Navigating this new risk landscape will be the biggest challenge we have yet faced. And new, unknown threats are bound to materialize the more we progress. But despite the potential for large-scale human tragedy, few of these risks on their own are likely to lead to our total extinction. In fact, we may be one of the least endangered species on Earth.
Now, like I said, it only takes a handful of us to survive. We're adaptable and industrious, and very smart.
Our sheer numbers and broad distribution have given us a geographical buffer against extinction. We inhabit every corner of the Earth, from desert to tundra and tiny isolated islands.
That's one of the biggest
Could act
arguments
as
for getting to
natural
Mars,
quarantines in case of global disaster.
to have more than one lifeboat.
Even if 99.9% of humans were eliminated in some catastrophe, 8 million of us would remain, more than existed for most of our history. And although we are slow to reproduce, we no longer rely on the glacial pace of natural selection to adapt. Technology
Artificial
gives us
selection.
the power to adapt thousands of times faster than any other species in the history of life.
We can actually choose how to evolve
Lastly,
because we're conscious of it
our
now.
generalist diets allow for a wide flexibility in food sources, a trait that was critical to survivors of past mass extinctions. Ultimately, the threat of collapse hinges on one question: how resilient is civilization? How big of a hit can we take and keep going?
A really big one.
The Black Death of 1347
What I
killed
was saying.
half the population of Europe
Oh.
and 1/10 of people globally.
Even more than I said. It was bad.
But even this
Really
did
bad.
not derail human progress, and it was followed by the scientific revolution just 200 years later. The same proportional hit today would wreak havoc on our interconnected global economy.
But we'd survive.
But as long as our infrastructure and knowledge remained, we could still rebound and maintain an upward momentum. If we suffered a collapse steep enough to extinguish global industry, it would make for a much longer, more precarious recovery. And if we somehow lost the capability for agriculture and were pushed back to hunter-gatherer lifestyles, the Earth could only support 10 million of us. Our population as it was 100 centuries ago.
But we'd survive. Artist rendition. See,
At minimum,
you notice how, let me get it back to this, always in catastrophe, human apocalypse renditions that artists produce, you always see buildings made out of cement and steel that last in perpetuity. Let that be an indicator to you for what you should build your structures out of if you want them to last a really long time. It is correct. Skyscrapers will be around for a very long time. If you want to have some lasting legacy with the buildings that you build, that's how you do it. We still have Roman statues from 2,000 years ago made out of stone.
at minimum, there would need to be between 100 and 5,000 survivors to successfully repopulate the Earth.
It's actually 18 if you do it properly. But this is assuming we don't.
The bottleneck would be too tight, and we might never recover. To comprehend what's at stake, we have to confront what extinction would actually mean. Our greatest threat comes not from a single disastrous event, but from the compounding effects of disasters that overlap and mix together in unpredictable ways.
See how many Black Swan events have happened in the millennials generation?
In 2009, two researchers conducted a thought experiment to see what it would take to drive humanity to complete extinction. Phase 1 sees a rapid crash in human population from global warfare and collapse of global industry and agriculture. Phase 2 sees the exhaustion of remaining natural resources over the following 2 centuries. And Phase 3 envisions a downward spiral of ecosystem collapse, punctuated by a supervolcano eruption, leaving the last remaining bands of humanity unable to cling on any longer.
So it's technically possible for us to go completely extinct, but it'd be really, really difficult for it to happen.
Such an outcome would not only be tragic for the loss of life, but for the loss of future potential life. Billions or even trillions of our potential descendants would never materialize.
See, this is why I always say children are like diamonds.
Distant planets would go unexplored.
One person can have all those
The end of
descendants,
music, poetry, and art
populate an
in our
entire
corner of the
galaxy apiece.
and
every
possibly
single
in
human
the
being.
entire universe.
Let's give it time. After tens of millions of years, all that would remain of us would be the thin layer in a thin layer in some future rock face. Yeah. Great Aurora civilization reduced to a whisper in the winds of time. But you know, even from that, you could bring us back. Believe it or not, with just find a shred of DNA in there, and just like we brought dire wolves back, you could bring us back. No species survives forever. Time will shape us into something new. That's true. If we decide to. Like us right now, we are the ancient human beings of this planet. The great ancestors of everyone to come. I mean, we're at the very beginning of our planet's history of intelligent species. It's a big deal, guys.
The Svalbard Global Seed Bank in Norway now holds over 1 million seed specimens for over 4,000 species of plant, which could someday
it's an
be
arc.
a critical resource for rebuilding civilization. But there's an even better place to build a vault like this.
Yep.
Some have proposed lunar arcs that would store genetic samples in lava tubes beneath the moon's surface.
Like I was saying, just need the DNA.
Here, they would be protected from global disaster, erosion, micrometeorites, and solar radiation. But the best way to secure our long-term survival is to take the leap that no other life form has ever taken.
To other planets and solar systems, like I was saying.
A multi-planetary species.
We are the first species in the entire history of this planet, all 4.5 billion years of it, that has actually stepped foot on another celestial body and potentially could colonize them. The very first. This has never happened in the history of this planet. That's a big fucking deal.
Once a self-sustaining civilization
We are
is
special.
established on another planet, the chances of our extinction will plummet.
And this is what Elon Musk and many others are trying so hard to ensure. That we get colonies on Mars and eventually other solar systems. This is infinitely important. And most people still don't see it yet. But more and more people are beginning to. It's a big deal.
We will carry our flaws with us, and we will face new and unknown risks the further we stray from Earth. But it will be worth it. A sustainable interplanetary civilization will be the foundation for a long and prosperous future.
Mm-hmm.
But is this higher future actually in reach?
Yes.
Or are we at the peak of our powers?
No.
How far can we go?
Infinite. No upper limit. If you can conceptualize an upper limit, it's just from lack of creativity
In theory,
and imagination.
it's possible that civilization will hold the status quo for the indefinite future, avoiding both collapse and transformation. There could be unforeseen barriers that keep us in a kind of uneasy stasis.
We'll still figure out a way around them.
But in reality, plateau will be a temporary state at best. In the short term, exponential changes in technology and Earth's climate will force civilization into new directions. And the further we push into the future, the greater the disruptions we will face. In the next few 100,000 years, we are due to face supervolcano eruptions.
This is
and
true.
no ice age. Even if we burn every ounce of fossil
Yellowstone
fuels
is
and bake the Earth.
overdue to erupt.
Without active climate management, the glaciers will have their revenge.
Now,
As
one way or
large
another, he's not
sheets
wrong
of
about
ice
this,
steamroll huge swaths of
because
North America and Europe.
the sun is getting hotter over time. So,
It's believed that
in millions to
every
billions of
27
years,
million years,
we'll need to do something
Earth
about it.
experiences a cyclical mass extinction caused by the sun passing through the asteroid-dense middle region of our galaxy. And around 1 billion years from now, the brightening of the sun will make Earth too hot for photosynthesis.
But we could push it out
and the
farther
oceans will slowly boil away,
with technology.
sucking out all life on
And we
Earth.
could also change our atmospheric composition to make it more habitable, even then.
Modern civilization will not survive these events without a deep transformation. One option will be to let nature run its course on Earth and move to off-world habitats.
We can do this, but if you have a sustainable lifeboat that only needs a little bit of tweaking to keep it alive, we're definitely going to do that instead. Now, in 1 million years, in 10,000, we'll have the technology to move our planet from its current orbit into a different one if we want. Simply by, for instance, creating a gigantic wormhole through which it passes. I wrote scientific papers on this, actually, a while back. The concept isn't very difficult to imagine. It's just that the technology to actually do it, we don't have yet. But we will.
Bishop rings are circular megastructures that could house over 1 billion people. They could provide over 3 million square kilometers of land, as much as India or Argentina.
This would not be difficult, you see. All you'd need to do is have a means of keeping the atmosphere actually stuck to the object, which they're using centripetal force, and then you just have a light-emitting object that produces the UV waves for UV waves for photosynthesis. That's all you need to do. It's actually not that complicated. Now, building the structure is a humongous feat, but the concept's not difficult. You see what I'm saying?
They could be built with lightweight carbon nanotubes, and their rotation would generate enough gravity to hold their own atmosphere.
See? Like halos in the game Halo.
But if we decide to stay earthbound, we are not at the mercy of our planet. We have the power to write its future.
The future's bright,
Despite all
guys.
the dangers we face, utopian futures are well within reach.
And they're gonna happen. All we have to do is survive. That's it. We're gonna figure it out.
To our ancestors, our current powers would appear godlike. But everything we've achieved so far may pale in comparison to what comes next.
Not may. It will.
Since the Industrial Revolution, technological progress has
Being
been
able to move
radically
entire
improving the
stars,
condition in every critical way.
harvest all their energy, we can even conceptualize that.
Life is at an all-time
You best
high.
believe that in the future, we will do
We
it.
don't perceive these positive trends as clearly due to our negativity bias, which evolved to make us extra attentive to negative information.
Hmm.
But the forward momentum is undeniable.
It's an instinctual safety mechanism.
Our course correction to a sustainable civilization now appears unstoppable. The costs of solar and wind energy are falling faster than expert predictions.
All we gotta
making
do
them
is survive.
often cheaper than
That's
fossil
it.
fuels.
All we gotta do is survive.
At the same time, converging advancements in AI and biotech are pointing toward a radical enhancement of human well-being. Already, projects like AlphaFold are discovering structures of pathogens and treatments for cancer far faster than humans could. There are over 10,000 diseases that are caused by single gene mutations, and gene editing tools like CRISPR have the potential to cure all of them. These upward trends are multiplying the human potential many times over. We are now the healthiest, wealthiest, freest, most educated, most advanced population of humans to ever exist.
It's true. Even though we have problems, those are all better than they've ever been.
We could gain the power to regenerate limbs,
3D printing,
disease,
organs,
and possibly extend our lifespans
CRISPR,
in
stem
decades.
cells. We have it already.
On the brink of the most radical transformation.
Infinite lifespans or lifespans of thousands of years. We might not have it in our generation, but it's going to happen within a few hundred years.
Achieving these breakthroughs
It's a
will
big
require
deal.
technological leaps that the human
Just
mind alone cannot
look
make.
just a little bit into the future. Just a little bit.
But already, NASA has begun to use AI to design mission hardware.
It compounds upon
outperforming
itself.
human designs by a factor of 3. It's also being pioneered in the development of cleaner biofuels and drought-resistant crops, which could be critical in the fight against climate change. And this is just the start. We are witnessing the beginning of an intelligence explosion,
Yep.
which could lead to an artificial superintelligence that far exceeds human capabilities.
The stuff we're figuring out right now
That have defied humanity.
is gigantic. I mean, the fact that we even know that the universe is 94 billion light years across by itself is mind-boggling. That requires us to have the telescopes to see it, to know the amount of distance a beam of light would travel in a year, to know that a beam of light is photons or particles. It requires so much base level knowledge, so much base level information, that physics is a thing, that orbiting bodies are a thing, that the Earth is not the only thing in the universe, that the stars are actually other celestial bodies. So many base level of things that need to be known in order for that concept to be put in your mind. It's mind-boggling. He's right. The information explosion of our current era is mind-boggling.
Aligning it to human values will be a huge and novel challenge. But it will be a vital step. Not just for the enormous prosperity it could bring, but to counter the threat of malicious AIs.
They come from our own inner thoughts, our own inner
Safely aligned
persons.
superintelligence should be a prime objective for human
That's
development.
like the superintelligence on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It looked kind of like that.
If we can safely harness the power of AI for human betterment, then we can paint a utopian future our ancestors could hardly fathom.
We're gonna. It's gonna be heaven.
A future free of disease and hunger, where biotechnology
Because we're going to
will
transcend
stabilize the
time.
climate and biodiversity. Where abundant clean energy is developed in concert with AI. Where breakthroughs in rocketry and materials science have propelled humans to distant planets and moons. And where new tools for artistic and musical expression open new frontiers of beauty, experience, and understanding.
Molecules on her eyes,
And
hexagons.
all of this could be just the prologue to an even grander future.
One of the layers of heaven. Come on. It just takes a little leap. It's not much.
If our energy use continues its exponential growth, we could eventually control more energy than the Earth itself receives, becoming a Type 1 civilization.
We're almost there. We're at 0.7,
A
0.75.
recent study shows this could occur as soon as the year 2371. And by maintaining 3% yearly growth, we would reach Type 2 in just a few thousand years, able to control all the energy from the sun.
And that's just a few thousand years, right? The universe
If our
has a
species survives
lifespan
until the
of
death of the sun in
Google
5 billion
years.
it could lead to the existence of some 600 quadrillion people.
All that from one person.
And by colonizing space, vastly more still could come in.
Just think, guys. All of you watching this video today are the product of literally 4.5 billion years of your ancestors breeding and having more children. You're the product of that. Are you going to end it right here? Or are you going to keep it going? Like what you just saw there. I hope you keep it going.
100 quadrillion people. And by colonizing space, vastly more still could come into existence. Something like 100,000 trillion people in the Milky Way.
Yep.
But the farther we spread into space and time,
And we're just
the
at the
more
start of it.
different we will become.
Ancient ancestors of these people. And we're documenting as much of our history as we can,
It's possible
so that they have
we
something to
will
look back
splinter
on.
into multiple species, each with a different tolerance for change.
We're where it starts, right here.
Some may choose to merge with our machines into a new hybrid species, rejecting natural selection in favor of technological evolution, while others may choose to remain fully biological.
Which is totally
Splintering
fine,
would mark
as long
the
as you
first
respect the
time
choice.
since the Neanderthals that more than one human-like species walked the earth. And if we ever come to digitize our consciousness, human identity could branch into an infinite number of varieties.
All we gotta
As we
do
grow
is
into
survive.
new, more powerful forms, we will eventually have to confront a profound question.
That's the mantra.
What is our ultimate purpose in the universe? We could aim for the lofty goal of colonizing the entire galaxy.
Oh, that's going to be
of
simple.
becoming a Type 3 civilization and reordering the Milky Way to our own designs. We could aim to outlive the stars themselves in some 100 trillion years.
Yep. Which will happen.
But these far-off dreams are not for us to realize. If they are ever achieved, it will be by some distant descendant of ours.
We are our descendants. So it is for us to
evolved far
visualize and
beyond their
realize.
human roots. Instead, perhaps humanity's ultimate goal should be a more personal one. To save the Earth, the little rocky planet
Where it all began.
By pulling Earth away from the expanding sun,
We can definitely do
we could
that.
prolong the game of life by billions of years.
And then use a wormhole
By building a giant
to
conductive
transport it to
power
another solar system when our sun
outside the
dies.
moon. The process would take millions of years. But it would be a truly worthy goal.
Oh yeah.
To offset the destruction we have caused and keep life flourishing for eons more. A
Beautiful,
final
isn't it?
act of redemption for humanity.
See why I love this YouTube channel? It's beautiful. Chef's kiss. Best channel on YouTube. That's right. Almost chokes you up. The future's very bright. I say this to my girlfriend. She sees it on the, base level, like our lives right now. It's very bright. But it's also very bright here.
Only the worst case scenarios can stop us. If we can avoid them, we have the potential to seed a vast new branch of life that could outgrow Earth itself and spread across the universe.
And that's all God's trying to do. Prevent us from the worst case scenarios. He's basically force pushing us away from him. Because the devil's trying to get us to go there.
If there is one lesson our history can teach us, it's to never underestimate the human race.
There you go, guys. The human future, a case for optimism. I'd say he made his case. I hope you all enjoyed it. That's the video for today. Love y'all. Peace.